Hello everybody, welcome to another online speech at another online event. If this speech goes well, we hope that we can inspire you and assist you to add some forced creativity to your lessons. In this new world of online learning, we think that ungoogleability will benefit both teachers and learners and naturally facilitate creativity in the language classroom. How radical is it? Well, we'll let you be the judge. A little about us. My name is Jason Wolfe. I'm a long-term resident of Japan. My background is diverse. I started in ecology, did a master's in corpus linguistics and TED Talks, and now I teach design thinking to young learners. I also run and maintain the extensive reading program at my school. I'm a huge fan of books and just built a 2-story bookshelf at my house.
Howdy everyone, my name is Jonathan Andreano. Similar to my colleague, I have a mixed background in TESOL, geography, and information technology. I'm a firm believer that all teachers are language teachers and that active communication is a core component of learning. I currently oversee the IEB Middle Years Program and ICT systems at my institution.
Because of COVID-19, learning landscapes have become dramatically transformed, and for many students, screen-intensive learning has become a large portion of their schooling. With a sudden emphasis on input-based instruction and a shift towards asocial learning, adding some creativity is needed now more than ever. And even when the pandemic is over, creativity will continue to add value to the lives of teachers and students.
Your first instinct might be to simply introduce more hands-on or project-based learning in your classes, but one of the problems we have found out firsthand is that when an assignment or task is too straightforward or mainstream, students often simply jump on their computer and mimic one of the first 2 samples they find. This can easily lead to a class of cookie-cut answers, further dulling the learning experience for all involved. This is such a prominent situation here in Japan that there is this commonly used tongue-in-cheek phrase referencing Google Sensei, thanks to its ease of use and streamlined ability to provide solutions and answers to many of life and school's everyday problems. As teachers, this got us thinking about how can we provide a more engaging and authentic learning experience for our students.
So how can you do this? It's as easy as it sounds. Make your assignments ungoogleable. The first thing we do when we come across something new is Google it, and I'm pretty sure most students do this too. It sets a baseline. Unfortunately, this baseline also limits creativity, and students will frame their work around the first page of results. If a teacher can limit the Google search results of the assignment, creativity can happen.
By creating tasks that limit the number of results, students are constrained to use their own creative cognition to develop original ideas, and, as is the case with language learning, further expand on these ideas through social interactions with their peers, such as brainstorming future steps, providing constructive feedback, and sharing their progress. As with most ownership of learning, this creates a more engaging experience for the students involved. To help structure this idea in practice, we have been trying to develop our assignments and lessons more strategically around Bloom's taxonomy. As always, knowledge acquisition and application serve as a precondition for assignments, and prior to introducing more ungoogleable tasks in the classroom, we ensure that the students have solid foundations before taking on more independent tasks. When it comes to lower order thinking skills, a simple Google search can make quick work of any problems assigned. Similarly, with the recent growth in IA and computational engines, more and more tasks are becoming possible at the click of a button. For this reason, the rigor and challenge of learning tasks must be unique enough that they can't be easily solved, yet realistic enough that they are feasible and authentic for all learners.
We are also major proponents of the concept value-added English, which focuses on how social, cultural interactions and supplemental content adds value to the overall language experience as learners move toward their language goals. This is best explained by Tim Murphy of Kanda University, who coined the phrase. To be honest, I'm not sure how radical the assignments are. As I said earlier, I'll let you judge, but forcing students to be more creative in their problem solving prepares them for an unknown AI-based future. Teachers making their classwork ungoogleable takes time and makes them more creative too. Increasing the students' creativity increases the teachers. That's pretty radical, dude.
Now we will show you some of our favorite examples. Some of these are done in subject-specific classes, and others in traditional English classes, but they all started in the language classroom and have evolved from there. Also, some of these examples use some special tech, or more often than not, a waste product, and may not be appropriate for all classes, but we think there is a project that can fit your class.
Kamishibai plus App, Kamishibai App, a no-tech tech project. In this project, students were asked to design a new app and then prototype it and present it in the Kamishibai style. Kamishibai is a traditional Japanese way of storytelling with a box and individual sheets of paper. Make the box look like a smartphone, and each new paper is a new screen on the app. This one is definitely a little more tech involved, but the biggest tech hurdle is some of the costs. Using a grant, this project made interactive talking posters that quizzed users about the differences between American and Japanese culture. Students wrote a series of questions on the posters and recorded the answers with their own voices. The next slide shows a short video on the basics of how we made these.
The technology needed for this one is a circuit board called a Makey. They cost about $50 US. You also need a PC and the free online software, Scratch. The students made buttons and switches out of paper, wire, tinfoil, and tape. This project is all about trial and error, through tinkering.
This is a project that has evolved quite a bit over the years. Students present products designed to make the elderly healthier, but only using old umbrellas as a material. Later, some electronics were added. In this case, radical creativity was a little too challenging, and I was receiving too many similar products, and shifted to using other waste streams such as newspapers, pet bottles, and old pencils. Try Googling this one. In the PC Planter project, we use old computers to learn about the inner workings of the PC, e-waste, the basics of gardening and growing food, and using art and design to send a message. It is complicated, but with time and some good examples, students have a lot of fun and create some great projects. As you might be able to tell, this is one that I keep adding to.
From evolution to de-evolution and back again, even good projects get a little tiring and old for the teachers. Don't be afraid to pivot a project into something new. When submissions get repetitive, add new challenges and new levels of creativity. Sometimes we get a little carried away ourselves and end up with something a little too creative. In that case, we get to know the class and the project very well as we help them through it.
The PechaKucha format is quick and dirty, so please contact us with any questions or more information about any of our examples. Basically, we've had a lot of success with ungoogleability, more success doing it than saying the word itself. We think it makes for better classes, happier students, and happier teachers. Adding radical creativity to your lessons is the same as adding it to your life, and that's a good thing.